We're starting to have popcorn.
Yeah.
Pop. He's popping.
One thing that I wanted to, and also hit me was when she said, I was found out.
Yeah.
If to me it had that there's some institutional culture that made it unhealthy.
Exactly. Very good point. Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you. Just based on my look, can you tell what race I am? Anybody? You know what race I am? What would you suspect?
No, we're just not.
You don't say Anybody?
When I saw you, I thought you were Native American and Black.
Okay, that's good. Anybody else?
Latino and Black.
She said Don Carlos. Nobody? You said Native American and Black?
No,
Latino.
Because of your name.
What? Very good. Okay, so I just had an experience at a corporation where someone was talking, well, he's the manager of the company, about other races of people, but he didn't directly say white or black. He said, our culture, he included me, are islanders. He said, so we're raised differently. And it was an issue of money. And since it was an issue of money, thousands of dollars someone stole, he assumed that I was Samoan. And I'm not Samoan, I'm Creole. So that being the case, he talked so badly about the other races in his company. And the people who were involved were black, right? So Creoles are Native American, black, and French, right? So he had no idea that he was kind of talking about me. So the thing that I want to say to you is, as managers, if you're managers, when someone comes to you, are you going to be willing enough to work through a conflict where your own judgments are called into play, the decision you make? And so that's one hope that we have with this workshop.
Because it does happen. It does happen often. And I think if we just get more conscious and sensitive to it, then it will work our way on that continuum that we talked about in the beginning. We're all kind of trying to move our way toward, oops, sorry. No, sorry. Speaking of Globestar, but that was very good. We're going to keep going. I did want to show you real quick. This is the way that hidden bias shows up in recruitment. So we had 4 resumes that day, your personality, your culture, your education, your national culture, your job, so many mentioned in the challenges. You see Santa Cruz has its own culture, so there's a variety of factors that contribute to how people even answered it. You know that there were all these dimensions. You'll get this in your slide set. These are some brief definitions of each of the variables that were on there, whether you're independent, interdependent, just some definitions. And you'll get this in your packet.
Can I just tell them that there were 8 of you that didn't do it and we know who you are? I'll let you all know that. I know who you are.
And the only way I even know that is that you didn't accept my request to view your assessment. That's how I know that you did. Or you didn't do that much. Okay, so let's go to, the way that we can do this is we can have a bit of a shout out in terms of, well, Donna, may I share yours? Sure. You click on invite a colleague right there. And you'll be able to send an email to someone, and that same little way my message popped up, theirs will pop up. If you grant them access, then you can see theirs and you can see, and vice versa, I can see yours. So as you see, I have all of these names because I can see everybody's that gave me permission. So here's my profile, okay? And I'm going to add Donna, just so you can see. Oh, where'd it go? I went to some. You already know you can compare yourself to countries. Very often, people in the U.S. don't map right on the U.S. culture. Some do. So it's a bit of a generalization, and, but it is a guide if you need some guidance to a country that you're going to in terms of how to be most effective in those countries. So we want to reach our chart. Is you want to click on any of these like this. And right away, it draws a longer line, if you will. So if this was somebody that you up here, or an employee, or your boss, or whatever, someone that you want to know how to work more effectively with, then what I suggest you do is start with the longest line, the place where you have the most potential difference. Not necessarily a problem, but at least where you have a difference. And what you do is you click on that line, which I already did, and what pops up is information for me on the other person. In this case, it was Donna. So it's telling me she tends to be somewhat more egalitarian than me, and therefore less likely to pay attention to hierarchy. So if I come from a culture where hierarchy and status is important, and or more important than egalitarianism, then it's kind of important to know, because I'm going to be looking for formal interactions, and she's going to be looking for opportunities where we're equal. This can be a challenge. If she is the boss and I'm the employee, she's going to keep saying to me, well, I want to know your view. I want us to work together on this project. And I'm going to be thinking, why isn't she telling me what to do? Why isn't she giving me authority and letting me know? And I might leave the room thinking, she has not one clue in her head, because she's not giving me any direction, right? But she's thinking she wants me to be involved in it. And so she may be grading me, or, you know, on my performance review, I may get a low mark because I'm not trying to be, you know, in a more team or where there's a more open communication.
Good.
The good thing about this tool is that it has many categories. So it'll tell me how to establish credibility with someone different than myself, how to build relationship, leadership, obtaining information, presenting information, meeting, sharing information, giving and receiving feedback, teamwork, entertaining, training, resolving conflict, evaluating people, and general advice. And it gives me this on every dimension. So this was just the egalitarian hierarchy dimension, but it will give me that same bit of information on each area. So let's say I did want to do short-term